Hi, I'm Josh and I love everything human-powered adventure, which is why I've set myself the challenge to scooter the entire length of the UK, 950 miles between John O'Groats and Land's End, on a kick scooter. No battery, no motor, just one push at a time. So far I've scooted my way through the Flow Country's endless gravel and down the east coast, straight into a storm. Not just any storm, a named storm. Storm Amy. After spending a night listening to the trees crash down around my tent, I only managed 5 miles the next day before having to take shelter in a hotel room, waiting for the worst to pass. And that's where you are rejoining me, on the morning of day 4 in a small town called Dingwall. Let's see what the road has in store for me today, shall we? Well, good morning. That feels nice and warm. I'm refreshed, and I think that was definitely the smart move. Just to be able to chill out for a day, let that storm pass. And it was good timing, because today, I mean, there might be a couple little showers here or there, but it's mostly just going to be like the tail end of the storm. And when I turn left in a minute, I'm going to have a tailwind for most of the day, which is very helpful because the day is not an easy one. It's about 50, 60 miles until where I want to get to in the Cairngorms, which is, not impossible. We've done that a couple times on this trip so far. So that's the goal, is to get to the Cairngorms. The only problem is doing that is it is pretty much an uphill day the whole time. So yeah, we'll see how we go, but having that tailwind should hopefully make a big difference, because I haven't actually had a proper tailwind on this trip yet. So I'm grateful that it's coming today with all the hills. I've got about 13 miles or so until I get to Inverness, and it's up one little hill and one downhill, but let's keep moving. See you later, Dingwall. See you later. It was nice being here for a day. It's never ideal having to stop so early into a challenge like this, but sometimes the choice is made for you and not by you. And on this occasion, it was the right call. I was getting ever closer to Inverness. The last of Storm Amy was behind me, and the sun was even making an appearance this morning. Feeling refreshed and ready for another day of scooting, it wouldn't be long until I would make it to Inverness, the UK's northernmost city. Bridge now, and then around Inverness we'll start climbing up them hills towards the Cairngorms. I want to get past Aviemore today. That's kind of the plan, because I actually have a camp spot that I want to try and get to tonight, and if we can do that, that means then I can wake up nice and early tomorrow and we're going over the Cairngorms. So I need a full day for that. But look at the views! Beautiful. Getting to the Keswick Bridge always feels like a big deal. It feels like entering a different part of the country. And I guess it is. Everything becomes a little more busy, a little more lived in. So I made my way around Inverness and up plenty of steep hills. I had some hard miles ahead of me today, with most of the day getting across to the Cairngorms being uphill. Every uphill mile on a scooter feels extra slow and extra hard work. And heading into the forest tracks, there were plenty of reminders of that storm, plenty of fallen trees and plenty of debris scattered on the forest floors to navigate. fallen trees. I did kind of predict this today, and it's only this little bit here. I think should be able to hopefully get past. Yeah, I reckon I can get round there and then back on, hopefully. Ooh. I mean, there's only this little bit that sort of cuts through a forest track, so should be the only bit that's in danger of fallen trees that could potentially stop me in my tracks. There we go.
Once I managed to get back on track, the day felt like it had shifted. Previous days I knew I would have to deal with incoming rain or storms, but today just felt fun. Hitting single track on a scooter is a learning curve. With a low footrest, it definitely keeps you on your toes. But it was hilariously fun, even if I really had no idea what I was doing. I just held on for dear life. Today I started to feel like I was getting into the swing of things. Just me, my scooter, and the gravel roads that run next to the A9. Not much to worry about, apart from trying to keep my feet dry from the occasional stream crossing, and as long as the aftermath of Storm Amy wouldn't cause me too much trouble, today all I had to do was keep pushing away and watch those miles slowly tick by. If I did that, my goal of getting to the Cairngorms tonight was in reach.
Right, just had a quick stop, a bite to eat, and continuing on to Aviemore. I've done about 30 miles. I think it's probably just under 20 miles to get to Aviemore. Got a little bit more climbing to go, and then it is pretty much downhill towards Aviemore. So that's nice, something to look forward to. And I was saying everything's perfect and tailwind and everything, but seems to have changed a bit. It's kind of on my side and sometimes in my face. So I don't know what happened there, but just keep scooting along and try and get to Aviemore in good time. I've got plenty of time, it's only 1 o'clock, so whew, making good progress. It feels like I'm making good progress, but them nights are drawing in. Shall we see if we can get a lorry too? Yeah!
Inverness felt a world away by now, but in reality it was only about 20 miles behind me. That last 20 miles, as fun as it was, definitely felt hard. So reaching the top of that long climb felt like a huge relief. The top of this long uphill battle meant two things. One, I had officially made it to the Cairngorms, and two, it was all downhill from here, and pretty much for the remainder of the day.
Very close to Aviemore now. Done over 40 miles, done like 45 I think it is. Probably got like maybe 3 or 4 miles till I get to Aviemore. Today is Sunday, so I'm kind of hoping the supermarket is open so I can get a few bits of supplies and stuff for tomorrow and tonight. I think there's a co-op there, they're normally open late even on a Sunday. But yeah, been a good day so far. And it's only 3 PM, so got quite a bit of time. But yeah, let's get into Aviemore and find some food and some supplies. Where I want to camp isn't really too far away from Aviemore. It's like maybe 5 miles, if that. So yeah, let's go find food. Well, day 4 has ended with 50 miles. Pretty happy with that. I mean, it's quite an early finish. It's only 5:15, and the sunset isn't until about an hour and a half. So we've got a bit of time. But yeah, I didn't want to go any further because I got to the camp spot where I wanted to get to. And if you watch the going across the UK on the BMX, you'll probably recognise it, because this is why I know this spot, because I camped here on that. Body is feeling good, no issues, nothing to really complain about. Slightly sore on like the bottom of my feet, but there's no blisters or anything. I'll get a nice early night, make some nice sandwiches, and yeah, we go again tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be heading over the Cairngorms. We've got probably, again, quite a climby day, but once I get to the top, it is then like downhill for quite a while, or at least in a downhill kind of direction. But got the nice camp spot, got some nice sandwiches. Cheers. Day 4 was a good one because I needed that. I just needed one day where everything was kind of in my favour. The tailwind, the weather, not too hot, not too cold, it's not raining. It's just, yeah, I needed that. And again, knowing where I was going to camp and a good finish as well. So 50 odd miles done. How many more to go? Future Josh, put it here. Good morning, it's getting windy. Last night was such a great camp spot. I love this camp spot. It's just so peaceful. I mean, all night it was really calm, it was really quiet, really dark. I fell asleep at about 7 PM and didn't wake up until about 6 AM, and yeah, so I slept really well, and gonna need all of that rest because today I'm heading across the Cairngorms and we're going up to the highest point on this ride. It's not really that high, about 1,600 feet, but the first sort of 20-ish miles this morning will be a bit of a uphill battle, and there'll probably be a bit of hiker scooters and stuff. But then for the remainder of the day, we should have a mostly downhill sort of day towards like Pitlochry and stuff as we come out of like the Cairngorms and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this morning. The last hour or so though, the wind has started picking up, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a headwind. Hopefully we can keep them cheat code activated tailwinds for today. But yeah, let's go and see what day 5 has in store for us from scootering across the UK. Oh, I really do love this camp spot. I could stay here for days. It's just so peaceful. I love it. It's so comfortable. Let's go. Morning. Morning.
There were some pretty strong gusts of wind this morning, but I seemed to mostly be sheltered as I left camp, and after a good day yesterday and a good long sleep, I was full of energy this morning, which was going to be needed. The Cairngorms is a beautiful place, but it can be hard work at the best of times. On a scooter, I would have my work cut out.
Getting towards the top now, nearly there, a few more miles, although I'm just about to get to the steeper section. Done about 14 miles this morning so far, so making good progress. But that gravel track out there looks pretty steep, so probably going to be a bit of a hiker scoot for the last little bit. But then it's all downhill. I mean, look at this place though. Look at it. What a place to be scootering around in. It's bloody beautiful. You can see that trail that I got to go up in a minute there. Keep pushing on, nearly at the top. Oh, happy days. I wasn't going up that big hill. The route sort of winded around it. Got like maybe 300 more feet to climb, and then it's downhill. Look at it. So nice out here. All alone. A little bit of a headwind, but beautiful.
The higher I climbed, the slower my progress became. The higher I climbed, the more the wind tried to push me back. The higher I climbed, the more rugged everything got. The mountains either side of me were acting like a funnel, channeling the wind straight at me. Pushing a scooter out here felt completely out of place. I found myself wondering how many scooters, if any, had ever passed through here. Bikers, hikers, sure. A scooter? I'm not so sure. But that's what made it special. Such a unique way to experience the Cairngorms. One of Scotland's most wild and beautiful landscapes, one kick at a time. It was hard work, no doubt about it, but it was an experience like no other.
Final push up this climb. It's been a long one, 23 miles and into the headwind now, but should start descending fairly soon, and then should be able to have some easy-ish miles. Beautiful out here, although, well, I say it's beautiful out here, it's beautiful back there. I seem to be heading into the clouds, but I will keep pushing through, and I will only stop once I get out of the Cairngorms. Just looking forward to getting that downhill now. So close. Just got to do this last bit, hike a scooter around this lock, and then there's a really nice long descent back down to the road, and then we just keep going down, down, down. I've done so far this morning 24 miles, it's 12:30, that's all been uphill pretty much, and battling into some headwind as well right now. Bit of hiker scooter.
Just one final push until I would get my long-awaited descent today. After making my way around the narrow trail and one final river crossing, I would find myself back on the trail and finally on my way down, saying goodbye to the Cairngorms.
Hello trail, my old friend. Oh yeah, we got the tailwind, we got the downhills, oh do 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 do. Woo! What a crossing of the Cairngorms that was. Absolutely stunning, brutal, and everything you'd expect for scooting through the Cairngorms. And now I'm gonna head towards Pitlochry and Dunkeld and Perth. Perth's 50 miles. Don't think we'll quite get there today, but it's nice and downhill for a little while, and we're back to the tailwind. Also, I've done 31 miles, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to enjoy this descent. When it finally stops, I'll probably stop and have something to eat. So good. Just came through Pitlochry, had a bite to eat. I'm a bit annoyed. I seem to have misplaced my spork, and I brought a yogurt. So now I'm just lugging a yogurt around because, I mean, I guess I could just drink it, but try to act civilized around people a little bit. I've done 50 miles so far today. It's about 4:30. I would quite like to break the record today of the 64 miles. It would be nice to be able to do. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible. Basically, if I get to Dunkeld, that's matching the record, so then anything after that is beating the record. However, there is a couple little climbs I've got to go up. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to hit that 70 mark, but it does get dark in like an hour and a half, so probably not going to be able to do too much more. Get to the 60 mark at least. We can match what I've been doing most of the time. Gonna head towards Dunkeld now. Today has been another great day of scooting, and we are starting to get now to sort of more of the built up places. Going to be coming through obviously Dunkeld and then towards Perth, and then down towards the bridge to cross over near Edinburgh. Making progress, guys, making progress. Right, no record breaking tonight.
Did like 4 miles and it started to rain. It's not gonna stop raining now for a few hours, so I don't want to get soaking wet before getting in the tent. So I've managed to jump in this little woodlands and find a great little spot for tonight. And disaster averted, I found my spork, so yogurt can finally be consumed and not just drank. Good little spot actually, nice and hidden, nice and sheltered from all the rain and the wind. And we'll go again tomorrow. 54 miles. I wonder if on this trip I can get to that 70-mile mark. I think my body feels fine to do it. Just need a bit of luck with the with like a dry evening. That'd be nice. Right, tomorrow morning we're heading to Dunkeld, about 10 miles or so till there. A few little ups and downs and then nice and downhill. Hopefully it won't be too wet and should be nice. Another good day. Day 5 complete. So, as always, I'll see you bright and early in the morning. Oh, good morning, good morning. Day 6 today. We're nearly at a week. A week on the scooter already, nearly a week already. That was a good night's sleep. It only rained for a few hours, so it went quite quiet. Woken up with a nice dry tent. I've got about 10 miles to get to Dunkeld, and then I'll probably stop for breakfast because it's like the first day of this trip where I haven't had to do loads of miles. Well, it feels like loads of miles to get to like a shop or whatever. So I'm going to do these few miles and then probably stop for a little bit, have some breakfast and then crack on. Today we are sort of starting to hit some more built up places which definitely helps make it feel like we're making progress. In about 60 miles I could be hitting the bridge over by Edinburgh, so I might end up past Edinburgh today, but we'll see. First, Dunkeld for breakfast.
Setting off this morning, thinking I could well be down by the capital of Scotland by the end of the day, was sobering. It felt like real progress was being made, like I was actually getting somewhere. But I was trying not to get too far ahead of myself, to just take the journey as it comes, one push at a time. Arriving in Dunkeld early morning was perfect timing. It's a beautiful little place to sit down for breakfast, watching the River Tay flow through the town.
Rightio, that's breakfast done for today. I have got a slight bit of wear and tear, not to the scooter, but to myself. I've got the first blister of the trip. I'm not too bothered about it, it doesn't really hurt too much. Occasionally on some off-road trails when I push and like a stone hits that exact spot, that's a bit painful, but apart from that, not too worried. So yeah, 18 miles to Perth. I'm probably not going to stop until I get there, and that'll be about 30 miles for today. I think today should be quite plain sailing. It's probably one of the easier days. I'd say most of the terrain is kind of in my favour. There's not much off-road, if any. Not until at least like Loch Leven, probably. Now, the only issue I have today is
if I do the 50-60 miles that I've been covering, I'm gonna end up on the bridge over to Edinburgh, and that will mean I'll probably have to do another maybe 20 miles just to get out of all like the built up bits to find somewhere to sleep tonight. So I'm not entirely sure if I will push on that far or not. I think I'll just we'll see how it goes today. Who knows, might be disastrous, who bloody knows. But yeah, let's go to Perth. Not quite a tailwind today either. Just come through Perth. I've done about 27 miles today. It's currently 11:30. So I think today is going to be the day. I think today is the day I'm going to attempt to break that 64-mile record so far and try and beat that. But by doing that, it does mean I will be going over the bridge into Edinburgh. So it's not just going to be a little bit over, it's going to be probably 80 miles maybe. This might be a tough one. I might regret this in the morning, but I've got about 20-ish miles, a little bit less than 20 miles to get to Loch Leven, and then I think it's about 10-ish, maybe 10-15 more miles until the bridge, and then however long it takes to get over the bridge and then into the distance away from all the built up places to find somewhere to camp tonight. But quick stop here, nice view. And yeah, I think I might put a plaster on the blister, and today is the record-breaking day. Fingers crossed. Look away now if you're squeamish. Lovely. Oh, that's gonna need popping.
After over 260 miles and 6 days of scootering across the UK, it finally happened. I got my first blister. The thing I was probably most worried about had happened. And on the day where I needed it not to happen the most, I had a huge day ahead of me today. If I was ever going to make it past Edinburgh, not only physically but mentally, and now with a blister to manage today, was looking like it was going to be that ever so slightly more challenging. After sticking a plaster on though, all I could do was keep on moving, and I was moving better than ever. Getting into a good rhythm while pushing the scooter felt like the key. Of course, there were some steep hills that were just too steep to push up. Funnily enough, the hills too steep to scoot were the ones too steep to ride the BMX up. Scottish drizzle was in the air today, but I seemed to dodge most of it. And now I was on my way to the beautiful Loch Leven.
Ah, 42 miles done so far today, making good progress. It's currently quarter past 2, so yeah, making good progress. Just come just come around Loch Leven and look at it. It's sunny, the sun is shining. I don't feel like I've seen the sun on this trip yet, so welcome to see it. I think I've got probably around 15 miles until we start crossing that bridge. I can't wait. And when I get past the bridge and a little bit further, I would have hit the 300 mile mark.
Milestones. Getting through an adventure like this is all about setting yourself milestones. And this one was a big one. Getting to the 4th bridge today was not only a huge moment in terms of progress, but it also marked 300 miles. 300 miles out of 950. Nearly a third of the way done. It hit me just how far I'd actually come. 6 days ago, I was at John O'Groats with barely any idea what I was doing on this scooter. And now here I was, passing Scotland's capital. I still had a few miles to go though if I was going to break my daily distance record. So a quick meal deal sat on the concrete was all I had time for.
Made it over the bridge, and now it's just time to break the record of 64 miles. I need to do 5 more. I'm on like 59, which I should definitely do, as I now got to get out of like the busyness, and I reckon I'm probably going to have to do at least 10 or 15 miles until I can potentially find somewhere just to get slightly out into the countryside again. But I've only got an hour and a half until the sun sets. It does seem 60 seems to be about the max before sunset, well, kind of. It's really hard going uphill one-footed while I'm talking to the camera. But today has been a good one, and it's looking like the weather is getting a little bit better now. But with only an hour and a half left, I do also need to try and find somewhere to sleep. And that is the problem, I have no idea around here. Right, just gonna keep going. Probably gonna end up going into the night a little bit tonight. Yeah, let's see what happens.
So close to beating my record, but daylight was fading fast. I needed to push and push hard to get out of the built-up area and find somewhere to camp. 2 goals left for me today: beat my record and find somewhere to sleep. I could see the miles ticking up on my GPS, getting closer and closer to that number. It was exciting, but the darkness was closing in just as fast. Could I pull off both? Or would I find the perfect pitch and have to call it early?